Oh, hello. Welcome back. It's another edition of your favourite podcast, the Chronicles of Podcast. Yes, welcome in. Take a seat, get your popcorn ready, get your ice lollies, or whatever it is you tend to enjoy us with. And whilst Jamie acts out everything I say, I will let him carry on. Are you done? Are you good? Okay, excellent. Welcome to the 96th edition of the Chronicles of Podcast. And Jamie, I do believe within the realms and the dimensions of this room, I almost said vacant area for some weird reason. It's not vacant because I'm in it. Are the Chronicles of Christopher Ward?
Yeah, they are, baby.
Massive happy birthday for a few weeks ago, my friend. Hit it!
Hi there. You're about to enjoy the Chronicles of Tom and Jeannie.
Hi everyone, I'm Kevin Mann.
Hey guys, my name's Annabelle Knight.
Hello, this is Becky Baldwin.
Hello, I'm Chesney.
Hey, what's up everyone? This is Braden from Say We Can Fly.
Hi, I'm Christopher Ward, and this is the podcast known as the Chronicles of. You're going to find out stuff you never really wanted to know and so much more. Thanks, guys.
Whole month having birthdays.
Wow, the thread count on these sheets is pathetic.
Nothing makes me happier than breaking out my less than mint 1990K's catalogue having a nostalgia wank. Hello everybody, and welcome to the 96th edition of the Chronicles of Podcast. And are the Chronicles of Christopher Ward. This is I, the bearded brummy Jamie, and joining me, as always, is this handsome devil right here.
It only caught the end of your these, so I'm going to imagine that it was Black Velvet.
It was Black
Velvet,
yeah.
Of course it's going to be, because it's our guest this week.
I proper went for that as well. Damn it.
No, I know you didn't. The ending was beautiful, just to let you know. So, it's the Scotsman Tom. What's going on, guys? Welcome to a brand new edition of the Chronicles of Podcast. It's a pleasure to have you here. Jamie.
Yes, sir.
Do you know what I absolutely love about websites and TV license, so like BBC iPlayer, that sort of thing? Is it goes, are you over 18? Yes or no? And anyone can go, yes.
Yes.
And it lets you straight in. No questions asked. So I love how the BBC iPlayer goes, do you have a TV license? And you just go, yes. And the BBC iPlayer sits there and goes, okay.
That's always made me laugh. 14-year-old me, when he first discovered internet porn, found that really fucking funny, I can guarantee you. Are you 18? Fucking right I am.
Yeah. I'm amazed that they haven't actually introduced, like, I mean, it'd be a bit weird, wouldn't it, that you have to send your fucking identification to Pornhub or whatever. But I mean, if they don't want kids seeing stuff like this, why don't they bring that in? Because it's so I don't get why it's like, are you over 18? Because anyone would go, yeah, cool, I'm in, perfect. I can now see everything I've ever wanted to. My tiny mind is warped.
It's blatant just to cover their own backs. So they can go, why was this child allowed to watch your content? And you go, well, we did ask if he was 18. There's not a lot else we could do. We're just a website.
Right. Numbers.
Yeah, that's literally all it is. We don't care. Please just give us money.
Yeah, probably that's pretty much how it works. But it just makes me laugh that you could be like, yeah? Oh, sweet. Perfect. I don't actually have to prove anything or tell you who I am or who I'm not. It's just a case of literally pressing yes. And away we fucking go, boys and girls. We love it.
Yeah. Have you ever clicked no just to see what it does? just think.
I think does it boot you out? Does it boot you out? I don't know.
Don't know.
Block it. No, because who's ever wanted? Do you know what? I'm absolutely dying for a Tommy right now. I tell you, like I just want to get this massive Tommy. Oh, it's asking me from over 18. Shit. Nope. Oh, no one's gonna do that, are they? Everyone's gonna be like, yeah.
But you press no for like, well, we admire your honesty. Have a wank anyway.
Here's some Emmanuel for you. There's some softcore Channel 5 stuff on the go for you. Yes. There you go. So Manuel movies. All you see is boobs. And they're still wearing underwear and they just rub against each other.
I just love the fact you said a Tommy. I haven't heard that phrase in fucking years.
Ah.
Oh, no.
So, do you remember my story last week about the train incident where when I'd had dental surgery, I asked this lady if she wanted 6 wines not to have sex with me?
Yes, I remember, yes.
So on the return journey, I was at Gloucester train station and I got to the platform and I was like, oh, really fancy a coffee. So I went into the cafe and the lady behind the counter was fucking mental to the point where because she was like, I'm closing in 2 minutes. I was like, okay, but I'm the only person here. So could I have a latte, please? And she's like, yeah. I'm closing in 2 minutes though. And then she was absolutely obsessed with talking toilets. It was a very weird conversation. She was obsessed with going, so do you need to wee? I was like, sorry. I was like, do you need the toilet at all? I was like, no, mum, thanks. I'm good. And she was like, okay, because obviously I'm on my own and I'm shutting in a minute. So like there's no toilet, there's no facilities available. The only facilities available that are ones that I've got, but I'd have to take you there because obviously you're not allowed back here because of health and safety. So if you need a piss or a poo, you're going to have to wait and go on the train. And I was like, can I have my coffee, please? This is very weird. But she didn't stop talking. Like she just didn't stop talking about the toilet and about how she'd have to escort me. It was really weird.
Made it sound like, would you like me to escort you to the toilet?
You know that Tommy you mentioned about pressing, about consenting on your Pornhub thing there? Hell no. Hell. She probably would have like held it for me and gone, there you go, love. Do you want me to wipe it for you as well?
How'd you get from I'm closing in 2 minutes to do you need a piss or a poo?
It was so weird, dude. Like, it was so weird. So yeah, it was a very, very odd conversation, odd moments there. You know, it's just she was just obsessed with talking toilets.
That is very, very weird. Oddly enough, I also have a follow-up to a conversation we had last week. Your beautiful story about the teacher asking the children what their greatest days were. I asked Olivia, wasn't quite the answer I was expected. She just looked at me and went, I don't know, Daddy, you choose. So apparently I've got to choose her greatest day. Child's incredibly undecisive. I don't know where she gets it from.
I think it was before you were born. That was definitely Daddy's greatest days. Sorry.
I was going to say something, but if I get heard, I will be beaten, so I'm going to shut up.
Yeah, you're quite. Is it from you or from her? Decisiveness.
It's so from me. I'll do anything to please anybody because I don't like making decisions.
That's a very, very good point, actually. That's why I find it so infuriating sometimes. It's like, fuck me, dude, just fucking pick something. Like, why are we still here?
No.
We came to this brothel for a reason. Now choose a hole. Anyway, I was on my return from 2000 Trees. I was walking down over the bridge and I went to go and pick something up. I think I was posting something or picking something up. Anyway, I was on the phone to Keris and we were having a little chat, but then I stopped talking because I was absolutely stunned and shocked by 2 pigeons were on the bridge facing each other like they were having a conversation. They were literally looking at each other going, oh, oh, that's it. They weren't moving. They were just staring at each other. Oh, oh, oh.
I love the idea of you just walking and being like, hold on, love, I need to know how this conversation ends.
They were literally, they weren't moving. They were staring at each other, cooing, whatever it is they do. And I was like, this is nuts. I bet he's going, spit or swallow. It's probably what it is there. Should we do this in public or should we go under the bridge? Right, which one's better for you? Right, how are we gonna get through this? You know, and make this as least awkward for all the other pigeons here. You know, all the other pidgeys. We don't need an audience. Oh, that's what you're into. Oh, we definitely don't need an audience for that. That's a backdoor 9 slut shit. That is.
Make a really good point though. Have literally no idea what pets are saying, or animals are saying to each other. They could be saying the most weirdest shit ever, and we wouldn't have a clue. They could be talking about us, and we wouldn't fucking know. Oh,
nuts, isn't it? Yeah, it is. I'm always intrigued by what animals say to each other.
it's like when you walk into a room or something and two people are talking a foreign language. You're like, I wonder what they're talking about. I bet it's the most inane, boring crap, but I bet it's something exotic because it's not from England. Got to be talking about something interesting.
Qu'est-ce que vous ici? Bonjour, baguette, croissant, les Français, vive la France. It's basically translated into, God, a massive shit earlier. It actually hurt my ass. Like, even my mum looked and went, Jesus Christ, that's why there's no reason you can't flush it.
I mean, no. You think it's something really exotic and interesting. It's literally like that. I had a massive shitter.
Yeah,
oh,
in the French language.
Beautiful. Oh,
yeah.
The language of love.
D'accord. Anyway, before we really get into the nutty, cruxy, deliciousy, bollocksy part, I had a thought today that really made me go, do you know what, actually? I wonder if this is the most used word in songs ever.
Ooh.
People love a woe in songs, don't they?
Oh, they do.
You can't go wrong with a woe. So I've started watching SummerSlam from last night. And obviously Cody Rhodes' song, Kingdom by Downstate, has the woe in it there where everyone lives for that moment to get to shout woe when it happens. And I was just thinking to myself, how many different varieties of woe are there as well? Because obviously there's loads of different varieties of woe that people enjoy in songs as well. For example, Venga Boys, whoa, we're going to Ibiza. Yeah?
Yep.
Then you've got Set Faces of Stun by Skindred. Whoa. Yeah?
Yep.
You've got Bon Jovi's Living on a Prayer, which is obviously the obvious one. Yeah. I put Guns N' Roses' Sweet Child of Mine. Now I can't remember the bit. Sweet. Yeah, there you go. See, it's in there as well. It's fucking everywhere.
And in every AFI song ever. Whoa! He puts them in everywhere.
Is it Miss Murder?
World. It's bound to be. I can't think off the top of my head, but it's bound to be.
Is it in Girls Not Grey?
I'm pretty certain there's one in Girls Not Grey.
Where is it?
I can't remember the fucking song off the top of my head, but it's bound to be.
Bullshit.
It's
you
bound to be.
You always had Smart and Clever, and
yes,
now I've called you out on it, and you're like, fuck!
I can't memorise the whole band's back catalogue.
We'll follow. No, it's not in there, I don't think.
Follow.
I suppose, yeah. But then he is using the end of follow rather than the woeing. It's an owing almost in a way.
It's still a woe. I don't care. It's still a woe.
People, I want you to go listen to every AFI song going, and I want you to come back. No one will, but
no
go
one
back
will.
And, sorry. Claire and Gemma, our two listeners, can you go and check? No, I'm only joking. We have many people. It's always grand and gracious, and we appreciate you so much when you check out these episodes. But anyway, Jamie, I wanted to write more songs down there. I literally thought of it like an hour ago before we interviewed, so I was like, oh shit, I've got this really quickly because it's just come to me. That's why I came up with four.
There's bound to be more. Bound to be so many more.
Isn't there Woes and Steps, One for Sorrow as well?
Oh, I can't remember how the chorus goes. I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure it's in there.
It's probably. It's in all these songs. But I did just quickly want to raise something to you as well. Something I saw on the internet fucking ages ago while we were away. And I'm intrigued if you would indulge yourself in this. I don't know if you've seen this. Have you seen the new burger you can get at Burger King in Thailand?
I mean, I don't really do my research for Burger Kings in Thailand, so...
No, but neither do I, but it came up on my Facebook feed. And I saved this absolutely ages ago and I forgot all about it. And it's CNN.
Wife.
CNN reports Burger King Thailand has introduced the real cheeseburger, a sandwich that contains 20 slices of American cheese stacked on a sesame seed bun with no patty and no other toppings.
Oh, I have seen this. Yes, I have. It's literally just cheese.
Who the fuck would eat this?
Thailand. Obviously. I mean, they literally took it literally.
It really did. Oh, I can imagine a cheeseburger. Literally just cheese.
Look, the cheese would be amazing. The bun would be awful because there's
so
nothing
dry.
there's nothing to like counteract the breadiness. All those carbs and fucking bready, doughy. You'd be there chewing like, I've been chewing for 84 years. The Titanic sunk 50,000 years ago. I'm still fucking here.
Is the cheese melted? Is it straight out of the fridge? Like, there's so many questions here. Like, oh,
There is a lot of questions there. That is, I'd say no. If it was a block or like a bit, a bit more, rather than your pathetic, shitty little American cheese slices that are like fantastic plastic. I don't know where I was going with that. What's fantastic plastic?
I don't know. I really enjoyed it.
I think that got stuck in my head because we were talking about songs, and I was just like, and obviously Barbie's out right now, and people are obviously loving it. So, anyway, Jamie, so how are things? Anyway, how are you doing?
But I'm very well. Yeah, I'm relaxing. I've got some time off work at the moment, so I'm having a nice chilled bit of time. It's lovely not getting. I'd say not getting up early, but I'm still been getting up early every day. But on my own accord, not someone else's. So it's nice. Yeah, it's nice. How are you, sir? How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. A little tired actually, but obviously I've not worked for 2 weeks now. It's been, I've been paid for them though, and now I'm going into my week of nothing, no pay, nothing. So I'm a bit like, I'm a bit apprehensive, shall we say? But for those that are unaware, I've got a brand new job, so which didn't go down very well at a previous role. So fuck him. So yeah, so I'm really looking forward to cracking on and starting this on the 14th. A nice night in Bath. I'm looking forward to that. It'd be great. Yeah. So yeah, I'm all right, man. I'm all right. It's been a bit of a hefty weekend. Bit of hefters. Yeah. So what's been going on with you, my friend?
No, I'd say not a lot, but it has actually been quite busy. Mostly Rihanna since we last did this. My last shift was on Thursday, and like I said, I've got like 10 days off now, which is very nice indeed. I had another driving lesson the other day. It's going very well. The driving instructor said he was going to try and force me to make a mistake because he didn't like the fact I was getting everything first time. I was like, ha. So,
do you reckon it's an age thing? Do you reckon it's because you're older that you're paying more attention?
No, it's. I thought I was going to brick it and make mistakes, but no, I seem to be doing quite well.
Good work, my friend. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I'll be driving us to Bloodstock next year, hopefully. Friday was Olivia's birthday. My little girl is 6, which is amazing. We went to London for the day. We took her to London Zoo. She absolutely loved it. And just like her father, the favourite animal she saw was the sloths. There was 3 sloths. I've never seen a sloth in real life before, and I absolutely love the bloody things, so that was amazing. But it's great. I haven't been to London Zoo in about 15 years, so it was great to go again. It's a great place.
I thought your favourite animals were goats.
I like all sorts of goats. I do like all sorts of goats.
All sorts of dinosaurs.
I do like dinosaurs too. I like a lot of things. I'm very easily into.
You like everything. You like everything. You love everything. So
I do. To be fair,
I'm glad you're a good fan.
Although I do have a gripe with zoos. I feel like there should be more organisation into them, into which way you're supposed to walk. It's sort of like a free for all, and I feel like you're going to miss things. And I was getting quite aggravated at it, to be honest. But
I don't think there should be zoos. Period. But yeah. Lions should not be over here. Giraffes should not be over here. I mean, it's not their climate. They should be able to just do as they fucking want. Not dance monkey dance for people, or line dance for people's entertainment.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it? Because the conservation side of it, you're like, okay, I get it, and then there's the other side of it. It's a weird debate.
Wait, a polar bear in England? Are you what? Are you mental? They need ice and water. What the fuck are you doing here? Oh, but we've set the temperature to -40. I don't give a fuck. You've caged them, you prick.
Oh, I know what you were about to say then.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was about to drop a C-bomb. We don't drop C-bombs on this show. Yeah, it's under. No, I know. I don't like them. Don't agree with them. So
that's fair. But yeah, after we went to London Zoo, we went to Buckingham Palace because Olivia's always said she wanted to see where the Queen lives.
Okay.
And then we were there, and yeah, I know, but she just says the King and Queen because she thinks Camilla's our Queen. But we were there literally not even 10 minutes. It was like, yeah, okay, this is nice. Let's go now. There's not exactly a lot to do there, is it? It's just you sort of look at it and go, oh, look, big house where Queen lives or King lives. And that's about it, really. Went for a meal and then come home again. It was a great day, and she made me very proud. She was very brave on things that she's normally terrified of. So fair play to the kid. Yesterday we had a big party at the house, loads of children and adults here, and I was horribly out of my comfort zone. I absolutely hated it. Then we had kids stay over, which was nice, and then back today. And then we've just done an absolutely incredible interview, and here we are. It's been a short one. So,
did you get to have any adults or kids there of your friendship side or family side by any chance?
yeah, my family was here. Yeah, my family's here. None of my friends are here because I've only got one friend that has kids, and she was already had plans. So
interesting. Okay, fair enough. There we are.
There we are. How are you? What have you been up to, my friend?
What have I been doing? I've not been Rihanna-ing, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I completed the brand new Oddworld game, Soulstorm. Been at that. If you're a fan of Abe's Odyssey or Abe's Exodus from the PlayStation back in the day, fucking hell, you need to get on this. It's so good. I've played a lot of FIFA. This is literally my life. I've watched a lot of wrestling. I'm completely up to date. I'm watching some of that at the moment. But it's been a bit of a nuts Friday, Saturday, and today have been absolutely mental. So Friday, I went over to Keris's mum's at like lunchtime, and I was there pretty much all day, nearly all evening, sorting her garden out, mowing it, weeding, taking some paving slabs out to make a new patio for her, and that sort of things. I've been doing loads of that, so that absolutely broke my back on Friday. And then yesterday, Paul came down to see me, so he was here for the day. I picked him up from the station about 11, and we literally just drank coffee and watched rugby all day, and it was fucking amazing. Literally the best day yesterday. Scotland we beat France as well, and France like third in the world, so that made me really happy. We're fifth, so it might have changed now with the new rankings, I don't know. So I was absolutely buzzing for that with the World Cup coming up. And today I've been back at Keris's mum's doing a garden again, finishing off what I didn't finish. So like churning the earth up to get all the brand new soil to the top because the grass is dead and that sort of thing, like strimming all the sides to get all the wheat. Like there's loads and loads and loads of those massive twigs with loads of thorns and like spiky shit on them. Ooh. So I've been pulling all of those out. It's been great. It's knackering. It's absolutely knackered me up, but it's because I've not worked for 2 weeks, so I've been on my ass. So like as soon as I start doing something, I'm like, fuck it, this is what work feels like. Jesus Christ. And she was like helping her mum like clear the house because she's having like the house redone. But she's chosen like 4 rooms at once. No, I'm joking. There's a lot of things started. You know what I mean? So like a lot of things have started and like they're only half done. So I've been working on the garden. So I'll be going back again this week before Bloodstock to make sure that is all completed before we go away. So, and I start work next Monday, week tomorrow. So. As we record this on Sunday evening. So doing a lot of that. And like I said, we had an amazing interview that sadly was very time restricted. So that was a bit poo, but never mind. We will catch up with those boys again. Happens to be our 100th edition. Just to throw that out there as well. So man. So, not a lot's been happening, but I've done a bit, if that makes sense. So
that makes sense. I love gardening, I do. So
I love mowing, and that's it. After that, I'm like, you can do whatever you can do, but I was just getting involved because it's just nice to help in it. So, and of course, as you're listening to this, we are currently at the Bloodstock Festival, interviewing many a band. This is our last festival of the season, so we'll do as we did last year, and hopefully you'll enjoy a nice little vlog in the future.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I'm so excited.
I'm really looking forward to it. There's going to be a special guest host as well Mally Malpass is rejoining us on the show to help us with our Bloodstock vlog. So he's going to be getting all the public interviews and having chats with people and stuff. So we're really excited to bring all that together and obviously interview all of your favorite heavy metal bands from the festival itself.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. So excited. So bloody excited.
Absolutely. But while seeing as we've all caught up, Jamie, I suppose we should hear from Braden at Stay Cozy Clothing.
Oh, yes, we definitely should. Come on.
All right. Is this thing on?
Well, howdy doody, everybody.
This is Braden Berry from Say We Can Fly, founder of Stay Cozy Clothing, your one-stop shop for the coziest, most fashionable hoodies, t-shirts, and more.
Gosh, Mickey.
That's right, folks. And we're proud to say that we are now sponsoring
the Chronicles of Podcast. Ouch.
Hosted by Tom and Jamie.
Like, you can get 10% off, man. That's right, Shaggy.
Just use the special code, The Chronicles, at checkout.
Oh, boy.
I've said it once, Jamie Westwood, and I'm going to say it again, all right? I might have said it quite a few times, actually, now. Greatest advert ever.
Absolutely. Can't disagree.
And now it's time for your favourite segment of the week.
Oh, go on.
It's time for a very tanned Callum Streetings.
Yeah, it is!
Do you want to know something? Callum will be able to tell you in Callum's Treachings.
Is cereal soup?
Ooh.
So, he came to you in a vest last week. He had the guns on. It was literally the gun show.
It was.
It was the gun show sponsored by Callum Streetings is what it was. The boy is back. He's back from Portugal. And he's looking as tanned as fucking ever. So, should we give the women what they want?
Oh, yeah. Let's show them the tanned man.
What is Callum Treachingers this week?
At the age of 30, you spent a whole month having birthdays.
That's insane. But what about the 30? What about the 31 months?
31 that's a good
months?
point.
Oh my god, I don't know what the 31 months are. What about the months with 31 days is what I meant to say.
That's a very good point. And also, what if it's February and you've had 28 birthdays and you've completed that month? Or 29 if it's a leap year?
But it's past, 30 is past that. So yeah.
Yeah, no, but you could have completed it at 28 is what I mean.
But
on your 28th birthday, you've done a month of birthdays.
Yeah, true, but you've actually done every month by the 31st. So it's technically, so when you're 31, you've done them all.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
So
you completely.
Yeah, but it makes a very good point still, though.
It does make a very good point. I've never really thought of it like that.
How many months have 28 days, Jim?
1.
Incorrect. They all do.
Oh, you dickhead.
There's that riddle thing in there on I think it's a video. The dad that can't be beat with riddles. And she does all those riddle things on him, and he's like, he never gets beat. It's great. So maybe that's what that's from. That's what that's from. Shows how many months have 28 days in, and he goes, all of them. She's like, damn it, because obviously they do, don't they? But that's to fool you because obviously February.
Oh, I feel fucking stupid now. Cheers.
But yeah, it's. I mean, if you're a woman, don't you celebrate your birthday like throughout the month?
Yeah,
so
birthday
technically
month.
they've had years of birthdays rather than
birthday weekend.
Keris is coming up, and she's like, "Oh, but it's my birthday weekend. So what are you doing that for?" It's like, because it's not your birthday. The Sunday is.
I get that. Oh yeah,
it's like there's a rugby game on at Rodney Parade over the road. My team are coming down from Scotland to play at Rodney Parade on the 21st, the day before, and I was like, "I'm going to the rugby." She went, "What do you mean?" Like, well, it's the Edinburgh playing. Of course I'm going to go and watch it. It's my birthday weekend. No, your birthday's the Sunday.
Yeah.
So no, that's not going to fly. I don't kick off and want a birthday week. I don't get it. I don't understand that mentality. Birthday week? Why?
I completely get it. Becky's like, we booked the week off for my birthday and we don't do anything. Like, because it's my birthday week. I'm like, it's not your fucking birthday. It's birthday week. Jesus Christ.
Hence why it's called a birthday, not a birthday week.
Yes, birthday.
Yeah.
Bloody greedy people.
Off your piss with your fucking birth weeks and whatnot.
You got one day to feel special. That's all you need.
Should we stop hating on our other halves and move on?
Probably, let's go, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, listeners, we do apologise massively. Obviously, there's some pent-up rage that's in there from nowhere. We didn't know it was there. What else is Callum treating us?
As a kid, we get money for losing teeth. As an adult, we spend money when we lose teeth.
So, what an absolutely spot-on fucking thing to talk about this week. Motherfuckers. It's so true. Mind you, do you know how much I spent to have my 2 teeth removed, Jamie Westwood?
Go on.
£905. £900 to have 2 teeth taken out.
Fuck that. No way.
What do you get when you fucking lose teeth and your mom gives you... sorry to all the kids listening to this. The tooth fairy gives you £1?
Yeah. £1.
If
that, yeah. Depends. Yeah. Whatever loose change mommy's got in her purse is basically what you get.
So the kid to adult teeth ratio is very unbalanced, in my opinion. So we get fucked as adults. Everything costs money. But yeah, £900 it cost me to have my teeth taken out. There's no NHS dentists available. None. So I was like,
even if you're NHS, it probably still would have cost like £800. Like, it barely makes a fucking difference. Ridiculous. Fuck me, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, but it had to be. Do you know what the real kick in the teeth is? And I don't mind being personal on here. Is I finally paid off a loan of 4 years in July. Like it was gone, it's done, it's over, and I was like, yes, has now been replaced by my teeth finance. Fuck's sake. It's always the way in life, isn't it? I think, especially for the littler man or woman, you always get to that point where you're like, oh my God, I'm finally going to hit that point where I can do this, this, and this. And another month where that starts, it's like, cool, you got this to pay for now. You're like, what? Yep. I just spent 4 years clearing that shit and I've got a year of this. Are you joking?
Look at you up there kicking me while I'm down. Bastard. Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous. So I'm paying on. I was no way I was doing that in full. You must be joking.
Yeah,
so
they'd have to sell a kidney as well. Jesus Christ.
But he's absolutely spot on.
He really is. God, it's depressing, isn't it? I fucking hate being an adult.
I think the only person where it would really fuck over is Benjamin Button.
That's a really good point. That is a very good point.
Do you reckon that's happened? That must have happened.
Not where the fuck did they get the idea for that story from? Because it's a bit weird.
Yeah, odd film. Because Benjamin Button obviously was old first. So technically he had a kid brain, but he was an adult. He was an old man. So yes. Why did he do the finger thing?
It helps me picture it in my head. I don't know why.
It's distracted me massively. So yeah, I think that's would be the only in an alternate reality where that technically doesn't work, but obviously it would do because that's a made-up story. You know, I always tried. I don't know why I always did it, but I was like, "Come on, Callum, let me see how I can find flaw in this."
You must have to out-treach the treacher.
It's never going to happen. I wouldn't want to out-treach him regardless of the fucking size of him.
Even if he was completely wrong, I'd agree because he's scary.
He's not. He's actually the biggest cuddliest human.
Biggest teddy bear in the world.
But yeah, it's nuts. It's really nuts how literally being a kid. But that's the problem, and I'm going to get really fucking old on you now as well. Is that they always say youth is wasted on the young, and they're so right.
Oh yeah, absolutely fucking is.
It's disgusting, isn't it? Fuck's sake.
My kids moan about things, and I'm like, you little bastards don't know how lucky you've got it. Like, I would fucking love to be in this situation right now. Oh, school. Oh, no. You have to work for 8 hours.
Seeing all your friends for 6 and a bit hours or 7, whatever it is. Oh, shame.
You got to learn a bit of maths. Poor you. Fucking...
Anyway, let's move on before we start getting really cynical and old in our age. And finally, Jamie, what is Callum treating us? Easy.
No real way for men to dress smart and be comfortable when it's really hot outside.
Oh, absolutely.
It's awful. And obviously, I got this new job coming up next week, and I was like, oh, so what's the dress code? Because I always go in shorts and a hoodie.
Yeah.
So, and it's like, oh, it's business casual. I was like, what the fuck's that?
I hate that.
So it's like a smart shirt or jumper and jeans.
Yeah, no.
So I've got a really cool, nice little Iron Man jackety blazer thing. It's not actually got Iron Man on it. It's like a Tony Stark sort of.
Oh yeah, what you mean? Yeah.
Where he wears like a jacket with a t-shirt and this sort of thing. It's like one of those jackets. It's really professional, but I won't look like a twat basically or boil to death. The only problem I've got is I can't wear a hat.
That is true. You're gonna have to have the head on show.
And I've always worn a hat, so it's just like, damn it.
You'll be okay. Don't worry. Embrace the head. You'll be fine.
But wearing a suit in the summer is the worst thing ever. It's like weddings obviously suck in the summer. They're obviously amazing because the weather's incredible and you can have what you want, but it just boils to death.
Yeah, but at the same time, you don't want to get married in the winter because you can't have your nice outside photos. It's bullshit. That's what it is. It's a pain in the arse.
Your wedding, the weather was decent, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, we actually hit it quite lucky. It was warm and dry, but it wasn't like sweltering warm. We hit a nice mid ground.
Global warming hadn't actually taken full hold until recently. So obviously you were.
I don't know what the fuck is going on with this weather at the minute. Sunshine, rain, sunshine, rain, sunshine, rain. Make a decision.
Yeah, it's just nuts. So I'm not. So he's spot on. I'm not looking forward to heading down on a train full of people, and obviously it's meant to be like delicious next weekend as well. So it's going to be a very hot day, I think, and it's So we shall see. We shall see. I always try and push it as far as I can, and I wear shorts or I wear a hoodie or a hat, or and then until anyone says anything, I'll just crack on. Because I was meant to do it for my job I had recently, and I never did. I always rocked up like this, and no one said a word. So I was like, cool, I'll just keep going. But yeah, Callum, thank you so much again for some unbelievable treats. We absolutely love it. And I always then go, for fuck's sake, because now I have to follow it.
Yeah, you do.
It's time for Tom's Journal.
Oh, beat to me.
And welcome to another edition of Tom's Journal. So, this woman's texting her husband. A couple of questions, love. Do you know how many are coming to dinner? Are any of them vegetarian? And what time are they coming? Husband, 6. Wife, what, 6 people or 6 p.m. or what's going on? Husband, no.
I mean, we are men, so I feel like we should defend our gender here, but it's kind of right.
I just love it. It was just all sorts of like, huh? What do you mean?
It'd be funny if it was 6 people are coming, all 6 of them are vegetarians, and they're coming at 6 o'clock.
That'd be amazing. That's got to happen somewhere in the world.
Yeah.
Son, dad, I can't sleep. I think the bougie man's under my bed. Dad, wait, don't you mean the boogeyman? Voice into the bed. Wow, the thread count on these sheets is pathetic. Oh, I fucking love that.
And I loved your bougie voice. That was beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. This is from the latest Star Trek film. Data, why are these Earth cars shooting laser beams in space, and how come the drivers don't need spacesuits? Readings indicate it is a movie set, sir. They're filming The Fast and the Furious Part 2589. Who needs oxygen when you have family? Oh, so good.
Oh, I can quite happily say I've never seen a Fast and Furious movie. I feel like I should.
I've never seen one either, and I never intend to. My mum keeps telling me I should, and I'm like, no thanks. She goes, but they're mental. I'm like, but no thanks. I'm good. I quite like to keep those hours of my life, actually. Thank you. I don't want to waste them watching that shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't decide if I want to watch them or not.
Absolutely not. But the thing is, JC, that I will never have a welcome mat at my house because I'm not a liar.
You're not welcome. Don't read the mat.
Yeah, fuck off. As far as I'm
just get a welcome mat that says "fuck off" in huge letters on it.
That'd be amazing.
What? That'll get the message across quite clearly.
So I was having a conversation with a zookeeper, right? And I said to the zookeeper, so birds have butt vaginas. And the zookeeper went, no, that's not true. They have cloacas that some eat, but did they shit out of it? Zookeeper, well, yeah, of course they do. And did they give birth out of it as well? Yes. But please, sir, there are kids pulling out a megaphone. Butt vagina! Butt vagina.
What's more beautiful? What was amazing about it is I didn't know that. That was amazing. That was a great piece of information to discover as well.
There you go. It's one of those things that we never think about. So
that's hilarious.
Okay. So a little rule for you here: don't join in.
Okay.
Okay, because otherwise you'll miss what's said. All right.
Okay.
To the tune of Destiny's Child, "Say My Name." Spell my name, spell my name. It's right there in the email. It's not a hidden detail. The spelling doesn't change. Do you know how many people I've seen that have like really fucked up people's names, even though they're right there in the fucking emails?
Oh yeah, I've luckily never had it. I've done quite well with my name at work, but the amount of times I've seen Becky get an email and have spelled her name completely wrong. I think Bessie is still my favourite one. BCCY. Like, that's not a name.
I've been called Tim.
Yes, you have been called Tim. Yes,
on more than one occasion.
All by the same person.
Yeah. So if you will give me the wrong name, I will reply in the wrong name. Because why the fuck not? I might fancy being Tim for a while.
That's what I think your name is. You might as well go with it. Fuck it.
Exactly. But I just thought that was great. I thought that nice little rendition, a nice little song for you there.
And I enjoyed the singing yesterday. It killed me not to sing along because it's one of those songs you just have to sing along to.
Well, you sing along to everything that I sing to, so I just wanted to make sure that...
Yeah, I can't deny that one. Yeah.
Yeah, so... Sometimes, Jamie, I wonder what happened to the people who asked me for directions.
Now, is that because your directions are not reliable or because you like to give them the wrong directions for fun?
It's one of those things, right, where, because you get put on the spot a little bit, I just go, fuck, where's it again? Even though you've been there 15,000 times, the brain just goes, no, you're on your own here. And you go, it's down the left towards the building. You then take a left at the road, and you just forget everything about directions that have ever happened and the place you live in for the past 20 years ever. Thank God fucking sat-navs came in and Google Maps and shit.
It's always as well, a driver asks you, like, do you know how to get here? I'm like, I don't drive. I don't know the roads. I know how to get where I'm going. You're lucky if I know how to get where you're going. And if I do know the wrong directions, like you say, I always doubt myself. So I always say, I think. So I feel like I've covered myself if I say I think afterwards.
I love that. You go, it's bloody good. Go right down here, left. Then go down Swanton Lane. You take a right up Colon Avenue, and then you go, I think. And they go, oh, thanks. I just wasted 10 minutes of my life. Thanks for that.
I think I'm pretty sure that's where it is anyway. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how you get there.
Just be fucking confident as ass and go. And if it's not, fuck you. See you later. Enjoy your life.
And if it's not, you should have just found out for yourself before you left the house today, shouldn't you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Print them
People
directions
prepared.
off me. Yeah. Isn't it amazing?
Directions, fucking hell. Sorry.
Isn't it amazing how a colon can completely change the meaning of a sentence?
Yes.
For example, Jane ate her friend's sandwich. Yeah? Or Jane ate her friend's colon.
Dude, that's where it's going. I thought I knew where it was going. I was like, if it doesn't go there, I'm going to be a little bit disappointed, I'll be honest. Fucking brilliant.
I'm going to give you a couple more because I don't want to. I've been going for a while now, so I want to make sure. I'll give you a few more. This one's one of my favourite journal entries. You know when I keep telling you how I always find journal entries, but they're always like weeks away. This is one of my new favourites. Sunny Delight tastes like someone made a bet that they can make orange juice without oranges.
I've never been able to describe the taste of Sunny Delight because it fucking ain't the flavour it says on the bottle.
Weren't there reports and stories that people were turning orange because they drank too much of it?
I don't remember that one.
Oh, I swear I've heard some stories that people were turning orange because they drank way too much Sunny D.
I remember reports back in the day that there was horse semen in it. I remember that one.
What?
I was in senior school at the time. It was one of those ones where everyone just said anything to try and get a reaction.
And it always got around the school.
Yeah. I remember that rumour going around that Sunny Delight had horse semen in it. I was like, same with Flumps, apparently. I remember that one as well.
What the hell is... What's a flump?
Flump, it's like a marshmallow. Sweet.
Is that a Birmingham thing?
No, they're pretty popular. It's like Bassett's. Don't know why I keep doing this.
I don't eat marshmallows. I don't like marshmallows.
True. But didn't Sunny Delight used to be named after cities? I feel like when it first came out in the 90s, it was like California and...
Possibly. California's a state, though, so...
Oh.
I can't remember.
I can't remember now.
One day, you lose your wallet. It is then found by a mob boss who figures out that you aren't in such a good place financially and takes pity on you. So they start anonymously sending cash, clothes, and furniture to you in the mail. Eventually, the mob boss sends you a letter to state that they have bought you a house and it lists an address. What do you do? Someone responded, in this economy, thank them politely, pledge your loyalty, and join the mob.
Yeah, I'm with that one. Yeah. They're not going to get much fucking use out of me. When they meet me, they'll realise that. So you might as well try.
So, Jamie, I tell you what we're going to do. We'll go down the street. I'm going to kill... we're going to kill all these people. You down with that? Yeah, whatever you want to do, mate. I'm happy with whatever. Is that all right with you? Like, are you sure that you want me to do it? Like, is that... Like, I can't make decisions, you see, so you have to tell me what's going on. So what we're going to tell you what we're going to do then, Jamie, is you're going to go down the street, you're going to kill all these people, okay? And then I want you to send me a car. What car do you need? Is it a Honda? Is it a Fiat? Is it a Renault? What exact car? Do you show up the car? That's exactly how. They'd be like, do you know what, Jamie, just fucking get out of here. I can't be asked you. It's exactly how
I should be offended, but it's so true. I can't deny any of it.
Smitchy, if you're watching this right now, close your ears. My son told me he'd learnt that octopuses can climb through small cracks, so he's scared to swim in the ocean because an octopus might climb inside his butt. And now I'm too scared to swim in the ocean too.
Smitchy's just like, I'm never going on holiday ever again. I'm not leaving anywhere. I'm not even washing my hands. I'm not going anywhere near water ever again.
I think they're fascinating, octopus.
Oh,
I think they're absolutely fascinating. I can just... How that gigantic head can squeeze through the tiniest thing is mental to me. It's mental to me.
They are fascinating. I remember Becky is besotted with them. I remember we went to an aquarium once and I must have gone around the rest of the entire thing, come back, and she was still there watching the octopus. Absolutely fascinated by it. They are wonderful creatures. Sorry, Smitchy.
So, aliens have invaded. Earthlings, we have killed your leaders, destroyed your economy, and are here to take over your government. Humans, oh, thank fucking God for that. Aliens, wait, what?
I mean, if last week's audience participation answers are anything to go by, then yeah, that is pretty much what will happen.
And I'm going to end on a Jamie entry right here. Sometimes I blow my ice cream before I take a bite. I have no idea why. Brain, because food is every temperature. Also brain, no worry, learn from soup, know what to do.
Stop knowing me so well, bastard.
And that was another edition of James Up Tom's Journal.
You've never done that?
I've never blown an ice cream ever, no.
Be the only one that's done that. I felt silly afterwards I've done it, but
well, I've always done that thing where I test how cold it is first, so I don't actually bite. I just put it in my mouth and then pull out and see how cold I go, and then go from there. Because I bite into ice cream, so but I don't want to go in. I don't want to go in. Or I do that thing where I put my top teeth and then break it off that way. Sometimes you have to do that. I'll give that one. Sometimes you kind of have to, but can't bite properly. Oh no. Plus, I just enjoy letting it melt on my tongue. But then the taste of wood in my mouth makes me feel weird. So when people give you wooden cutlery, I'm like, no, thank you.
Yeah, you can't bite down on that. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm a bit weird there saying that. I think we should, but while we should bring that piece in. We should definitely bring that piece in. So
bring it in.
Before I introduce this, I just want to say a massive happy birthday for a few weeks ago, Christopher. We do apologise that we didn't get this out on your actual birthday due to the medical issues I was having with my mouth. We had to cancel a few shows, so massive apologies. But anyway, welcome to the Chronicles of Christopher Ward.
Fades in a summer night. Once in a long time, love is a sweet dream.
Christopher Ward is a singer-songwriter who has worked with some incredible artists like Diana Ross, the Backstreet Boys, Meredith Brooks, but most famously for co-writing Allanah Myles' smash hit Black Velvet. What an absolutely incredible song. And that is just a tiny part of this man's career. He was also a host on Canadian version of MTV, interviewing the likes of Paul McCartney. He's been friends and colleagues with Mike Myers and so much more. And you're also going to find out he also does an incredible impression of Ringo Starr.
Yes, yes, it does. It's absolutely magnificent. This was a great interview, which took some real planning to get nailed down. So, Chris, thank you so much for taking the time out of your insanely busy schedule to sit and chat to us. We absolutely loved it. I also want to massively apologise for the fact that obviously I could hardly speak, but because it had taken us months of prep to get this nailed in, we didn't want to rearrange. So I do sound like an idiot. I do apologise massively. I'm now back to full health, but hopefully sometime down the line we can do it all again. But this interview is magnificent. It's just so great. And the Austin Powers stories and everything is just, and he was just a true funny as hell gentleman.
Yeah, he really was. Incredible stories.
So, Jamie!
Yes, sir.
Do you have any particular final words you'd like to add to this at all?
Just a massive thank you to Christopher Ward. It means the absolute world you came on and shared those incredible stories. I mean, yeah, absolutely phenomenal. Please, everyone, enjoy this one.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, interviewing this week, it's Christopher Ward.
Ladies and gentlemen, this week we bring you an incredibly talented man who has written songs not only for himself, but for huge musicians like Backstreet Boys, Hilary Duff, Diana Ross, Allanah Myles is huge, including her huge smash hit Black Velvet. But most impressive in my eyes, he was part of Ming Tea in Austin Powers. Absolutely incredible. Today's guest in his career was also Canada's first ever VJ, an author, and so much more. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the Chronicles of Christopher Ward.
What an intro, man. Really nice. Thank you. Great to be here, guys.
It's a pleasure to have you here, sir. But I think we should start off with the hard-hitting stuff more than anything else, which was, how was the last few years been for you? How was your pandemic season?
Well, I got the New York Times cooking app and I mastered the cumin lime shrimp. And that was really about as much as any one man could hope to achieve in the course of 3 years of a pandemic, I think. No, I walked my dog a lot. I actually did a lot. I wrote a bunch of new songs. And then recorded an album called Same River Twice. So I didn't just sit on my duff like everybody else, is what I'm saying, you know.
I still think the shrimp answer might be the greatest answer we've ever had to that question, I'll be honest with you.
Well, it's true, of course.
It's your signature dish now. Every time we sit around for dinner, let's get the New York Times cookbook out. So take us back, sir. Take us to the days you were a young boy growing up in Toronto. What did young Master Ward want to be when he was growing up? Has it always been music for you, or was it start somewhere completely different?
I wanted to be a psychiatrist, but that didn't pan out too well. So, I actually did go to college thinking that I would pursue that psychiatry, but I couldn't hack the math, so I became a songwriter instead. Now, I was writing songs already when I was in college, and I met my first collaborator there, and so it was going strong pretty early on.
That's amazing. Why psychiatry? What made you want to do psychiatry to begin with?
I don't know. I mean, it's a long time ago, and clearly I abandoned the direction there, but. Although we could do a little analysis at the end of this session if it would help anybody in particular. So, I think I just thought it was a really noble profession to help people sort of unscramble their lives. And, there was a sort of quality of generosity, I thought, to something like that done well.
Fair play. It's amazing. But obviously you were saying you had already songwriting when you had thought about going to college, but you obviously got this big passion for music. You've worked in the music industry in so many different ways. Where does that love of music come from? Is it come from your parents or just influences, whatever that might be?
It's funny, we don't really have any musicians in my family or anybody who kind of lived by their creative wits. It was, I think it was just like the British invasion, like everybody else my age, right? It was the Beatles, the Stones, and the Kinks, and everything thereafter. And everything seemed possible then, in a way that it hadn't before, because it was a whole cultural shift as well as just being a musical one. And it hit me hard, and I never went back.
It's amazing how many people are influenced by the Beatles, especially when you speak to people from across the pond, as they say.
Yeah.
The Beatles on Ed Sullivan just seems to be that answer for so many people.
Well, I spent a really large part of my high school years trying to perfect my Beatle accent. So, and then eventually I tried to learn to do each one individually. And that was, that's when it really got serious. Like, it started with Ringo. I like to sit in front of the telly and go bang, bang, And then it went to John, on behalf of the group and ourselves, I hope we pass the audition. Yeah, so,
Absolutely nailed them. That was amazing. Like they were in the room.
God, is that you?
Well, that was my misspent youth. So there you go. You guys have chronicled it.
That is beautiful. But your music career began in the 70s while you were attending university. You released Spark of Desire. How do you find your writing process? Is like lyrics first, music first? How do you normally write a song?
Well, it's kind of different every time, really, Tom. It could start with a riff. It could start with a phrase that sounds good to the ear. It could start with a theme. There's kind of no one way to write songs, but that's the beauty of it, really. So, yeah, I just get up and whatever's working that day, I follow it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I really enjoyed the guitar solo in Sweet Rose, and the saxophone solo in Nightbirds. Really enjoyed those.
Oh yeah, well that's of course Michael Brecker, so of the famous Brecker brothers. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because I hadn't heard that record for a long time, and then we did a remastering, and we did a digital transfer of it for the streaming services, and it's weird being confronted with your younger self, because of course all I can think of is, oh, I wouldn't do that again. Oh, I'd fix that. Oh, I'd change that. Oh, I'd rewrite that. You immediately are just raking your young self over the coals for the mistakes that you made in your youth. But every once in a while I kind of go, that doesn't sound bad. And that song you mentioned, Nightbirds, was one of the ones I went, that one kind of stands up. It's, it's a bit of an artifact. What do they call it now? Yacht rock. It's kind of, I guess that's a disparaging term. I probably shouldn't use it on myself, but yeah, there's a little bit of yachty by nature,
You say that then when you're listening back to it, ready to the remaster. Let's see, like halfway through this, going, do you know what? Actually, I've changed my mind. I'm not doing this anymore. Young Christopher, what are you thinking? Just poof.
Exactly. Yeah. You got to live with the past, right?
Absolutely. Is that where you saw your career going then originally, was writing and recording your own music?
Oh, very much so. For me, the priority was songwriting. And it wasn't, touring or anything else really. And that's why, I sort of went from being an artist, songwriter artist, and then morphed more into being just a pure songwriter, because that's where my passion is. So, yeah.
Was it something that came naturally to you, the songwriting, or did you study?
I did not study composition. That would be well beyond my capabilities. But I did in my own way sort of self-educate. I analyzed everything I heard. Not forensically, like I wouldn't take apart the chord structure or anything, but more just, I'd listen to some new song I heard and go, what is it that makes that song work? Why does it affect me? Why does it make the hairs on my arms stand up? and then just try to chase down that sort of gut level understanding of popular music until it just became an absolute obsession, and that was my life. You guys know.
Wow.
Oh yeah, definitely no.
Yeah.
So, when Spark of Desire came out, how was it received? What sort of feedback did you get on the record? Did it do well?
It did really well in Canada, but that was, I don't even know if it was released in other territories, to tell you the truth. It's a long time ago. It's like 1978. So it's vintage, like me, you know? Yeah, it was really well received. I mean, I had some incredible benefits there because the lineup of people who played on that record was a lineup of like top session players of that era, and that benefited the music tremendously because I was a neophyte as far as being a singer in a studio. I didn't really know what I was doing, so, and maybe you can hear that. I don't know.
No, what do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about there, Chris.
Exactly.
What I love about your career as well is looking back on it, like so much of it is just like Canadian highlights. Like I was like looking at, because you met Allanah Myles on the set on an episode of Degrassi, which is like the most Canadian TV show ever. Is that correct?
Not exactly. No, I met her before then. I think we met at a party actually, but we started dating, but really, more importantly, we started making music together. That was the thing that was, you know, that drove us as a couple. And, yeah, it was a good move. It was a good career move. And, Degrassi, it's funny because years later I did end up writing a whole bunch of music for Degrassi, which was a lot of fun because, of course, you're right. It's both a Canadian and worldwide institution in young adult television. But Allanah, yeah, she played. She had a role on one of the early episodes. She was playing, I think, a young mom, single mom who played in a band. That was her role, and I was in the band. And I was credited as being Wild Bill Ward in the band. So,
right.
Well, I did. My dad's name was Bill, so I did that for him. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
So I don't think it can be understated, like how big the song Black Velvet got, though. Like it was top 10 and a minimum charts all across the world. Several awards, Mike. Did you expect the song to be as popular as it was when you two were just sat there working on it?
No, you can't anticipate that kind of thing. It's a once in a lifetime phenomenon for me, as it is when, you know, for anybody who writes a song that becomes a sort of iconic pop song. You just thank your lucky stars and feel very blessed, you know, that it made some kind of deeper connection with a lot of people. I mean, we felt good about it. I had mostly written it on my own and then brought it to a session with Allanah and her producer, Dave Tyson. And she just jumped on it because she loves those kind of bluesy feels and she does them so well. And so she you know, just grabbed that song. And then we were still missing the bridge part of the song. And Dave said, "Hey, have you got a bridge?" I said, "No." He said, "Do you mind if I write one?" I went, "No, go for it." And then essentially the song was done. So.
And it's a fantastic song. Like I've only got to read the name of the song and it will be stuck in my head. Like it's one of those earworms to me. It drives me mad.
Can I monetize what's in your head in any way?
If I could do that, then that'd be great. So I'll chuck you a couple of pennies on the side.
Would you? Thank you. That'd be sporting of you. Yes.
Like I said, like you said, it was a phenomenon. It really hit. Like, but at what point did you go, like, we've got something here? Someone's like, this song is really being received well.
Anybody who tells you that they knew is probably a liar, you know. I mean, I remember when the album first came out in Canada, it wasn't even the first single. So it followed a song called Love Is that's on the same album. I mean, you do get feedback from people that you trust and friends, and a lot of people gravitated towards that song when they first heard the album. And then once you see it start climbing the charts, it's like, it's like your temperature slowly rising. You're just thinking, is it possible? Is there any, oh my God, And then when, I mean, it literally, when it hit number one on Billboard, it was just like, this was one of my greatest dreams of all time. I know this sounds like really kind of cheesy to say it, but like Billboard magazine, man, that was it. That was the Bible of the music industry. And there's a book actually called the Billboard Book of Number One Hits. And I used to use that book for research when I was working at the TV station. So that book meant a lot to me. And I loved how each song got a full page and got a story, the making of this one song. And I can remember the first thing I thought when it went number one is I'm going to have a page in the Billboard number one book of hits. It was just, it's that thing, when it's like something that you've wanted since you were a kid or whatever, and it's actually there in front of you and you can't believe it.
That's amazing. I bet you framed it, didn't you? Put it up in the house. You're like, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I framed it. Yeah, it had to be framed. And it looks pretty good.
I bet it does. I bet it looks unbelievable.
Well, there now.
But you also did radio at university as well. Like, were you trying to get involved in the music scene as much as possible by trying every avenue?
I grew up in the era pre-video, so I was addicted to radio. I mean, I was the kid with the transistor radio under his pillow, staying awake till 3 a.m, listening to, new songs and that kind of thing. And so when I went to college, actually, a good friend of mine and I started a campus radio station. So we got really involved in that. And then the local sort of 5,000 watt radio station in Peterborough, Ontario, where my university was, hired me to do the all-night show. So I was doing the all-night show and then ostensibly going to school during the day. Yeah, you can probably imagine which part suffered the most, but yeah.
That school.
It had to be done, Yeah.
I'm so proud.
Thank you. You guys, I'm sure at some point in your lives and careers made choices like that too, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Stuff that your parents want you to do is it gets left behind, Cool. Yeah.
School when you got music and rock and roll, eh? That's what you do.
Yeah.
So, as we were talking about Black Velvet, is it the success of that song that led you to working with like all the amazing artists you went on to work with? Did it like open that door for you?
Yeah, if you have a hit song, it's like in the eyes of others, it's like you've got the keys to the kingdom, or you've figured something out. I mean, which isn't true. You just wrote one good song, and then it's your job to knuckle down and write some other good ones if you can. But people across the sort of musical spectrum of style really, loved that song. And so when I would get together with them, it'd always be like, oh man, we got to write one of those. I'd go, well, yeah, but you can't really replicate something like that. It really is, it's a one-off. And it wasn't really kind of in tune with the times, that there weren't other songs like that around at that moment, or maybe ever. I don't know. What it is it's a blues song with an old fashioned, shuffle groove, the run, dun, 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 dun. I mean, that's as old as the hills, right? And then it's got a chorus that has, a little more melody and some chords. And I'm not trying to, devalue it, but it's not typical of, what comes out on pop radio, to say the least.
But what made it stand out, though, to be fair? Because it wasn't like...
Yeah, those are the ones you remember, right? I mean, especially so many years on, you're thinking, what was my favorite song of 1968? Well, maybe it was Ode to Billy Joe by, Dusty Springfield or something, or Bobby Gentry. But you realize, well, what I liked about it was that there was nothing else like that at the time. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
The process of being a songwriter has always fascinated me. I know we touched on the actual songwriting earlier, what comes first, Mono, but the process of being a songwriter, like, are you asked for a song by the label for a certain artist, or does the artist request yourself, or is it something completely different and I'm like a million miles off?
No, you're right in many ways. It's because it's all of those things. If if an artist, say, loves Alannah's vocal, they're going to say, well, I want to sing like that. I want a song that will sort of, give me the opportunity to show off my vocal prowess, in that same musical vein. Somebody else may be more strategic on a business level. Maybe their manager goes, well, this guy wrote a number one hit, we're going to put you with him, or in the most extreme case, like I shared a business manager with Diana Ross, and never thinking that I would get a chance to work with her. And then he called me one day. He said, hey, do you want to work with Diana? And I'm like, yeah. And he said, well, look, I'm going to try to set it up. I went, okay. So I went to the gym, and and then my then wife called me up and said, Diana Ross just called and she wants you at her place in an hour. I'm like, what? So, yeah. That you don't even dare dream that stuff like that could happen, and then it does, right?
This is not something you expect to get a call from the wife saying, is it? Like, Diana Ross wants you at her house in an hour. Go.
Yeah. Get your ass back here. Yeah.
Don't even think about it.
Yes.
Do you have much involvement in the process, like after you've written it, as far as making sure the artist performs it how you envisioned it, or is it limply, here you go?
Again, Jamie, it's every which way. In some cases, like trying to think, there was an artist named Meredith Brooks that I wrote with. She had a big song called "Bitch," and if you remember, I had a song on that record, and they took the song that she and I wrote and transformed it into something completely different, like almost unrecognizably different. But it was really cool and really creative what they did. So I just go, well, okay, great. You took my song, you made something out of it. And then other times, it's amazing how close the artist wants to hew to the original version or the demo version. They will literally want to create a replica of what you did. And actually, of all the artists, you wouldn't think this would be the case, but that's what happened with the Diana Ross thing. She cut we wrote a bunch of songs together, like 5 songs together, and she ended up recording a couple of them. And I can remember she was finished the recording of one of them, and then she was driving around in her car in, I don't know, somewhere in Florida or something, and she was playing the demo for some reason, even after she'd recorded the song. And she realized that the demo was slightly different than her version. And she wanted to go back in the studio and recut her version so that it was exactly like the demo. And I'm thinking, all these demo singers, all they want to do is sound like Diana Ross. Really, you want to do that? It's like, oh, okay, great. But you see what I mean? It's like people respond in different ways.
It's mad.
Is it quite a strange process in a way? Because obviously the songs don't have much meaning to that person that you're writing them for. So, if like a love song or whatever, the way they deliver it, I don't know how I'm trying to word it, but obviously it's not going to have the same meaning to you as it does to them.
Well, I always kind of viewed my role in those situations as being like a facilitator to sort of help the song along, to help the artist along. I mean, they have a voice, and by that I mean not just a literal voice, but they have a point of view as an artist and a direction with what they do and who they are, and they have fans and everything else. So although they may want to do something new and you're like the new guy in town or something, that's great. But at the same time, you got to sort of stay within the lines to some extent and try to give them something that is believable when they sing it. So I mean, in the case of keep coming back to the Diana Ross stuff, only because it proves a number of points that you're asking about. She was involved in the writing of those songs. So she would basically sit down with me and we'd jam for a couple hours, and she would, say, well, I want to write a song that feels like this, or that has this vibe about it, or thematically covers this that's happened in my life. And, it was pretty interesting, to be sitting there one-on-one with one of the greatest pop divas of all time, telling you that she's, breaking up with her husband and wants to write a song about it. I'm like, sure, yeah, what do you want? Yeah, here, hang on a sec.
Are you sure you want me in this one? Are you sure? Do you want to do this by yourself, or no? Okay, I'm in.
Oh no, I wasn't giving up my spot at the table for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah.
As a songwriter, do you prefer that though? Do you prefer to work with the artist, or do you prefer?
Oh yeah. Well, strategically, Jamie, if for no other reason, you have a much better chance of getting your song on the record if the artist co-writes it, for various reasons that I'll leave you to figure out.
Okay, I'll rephrase it. Creatively, do you prefer working with the artist?
Yeah, if they know what they want, in particular, yes. If they have some sense of what it is they want to express. What's great actually is, like, if you're working with an artist and they have a story that they want to tell, like with the Meredith song, it's called "I Watched You Fall," and she told me this incredible story of a bunch of friends of hers, and they were just party animals, right? And she said, one by one, they kind of straightened out, grew up, moved on, maybe got married, and just their lives became, more typical of a mature person. But there was one of these, of the women in the group, who just couldn't give up the ghost. She was just out there slamming nightly. And Meredith said, and it was really poignant, she said, I just waited because I just kept expecting that phone call that, that she was going to OD or something like that, because of how, how sort of lost she was as a human being. And I thought, man, like, if somebody gives you that, you got a song easily,
Yeah.
And she did. So that was great.
I suppose, like, it must work differently as well, because, like, you're saying there you work and you sat there with Diana Ross, but we were saying earlier how you wrote songs for the Backstreet Boys, and there's like 5 or 6 of them. So I suppose,
at least, yeah.
I can't remember them. I think I can remember one of them's name.
Well, I never did. I never met. Well, actually, no, that's not true. I did work with what's his name? Carter. Sorry, Nick. Yeah, I did work with Nick Carter, and actually, he was terrific to work with. He was a really, really hardworking participant in the whole process. But the Backstreet cut came. The guy I wrote it with, Rob Wells, was producing a track for them and presented our song, and they loved it and wanted to record it. So I had nothing to do with that one, going the distance. Yeah. But, it's funny. I was kind of cynical about it. I was like, oh yeah, boy bands. Yeah. Like, what do I care? Boy bands. I spit upon your boy band, not literally.
I didn't want to meet you.
And then I heard it, and it was just like, holy shit. It sounded so good. I mean, those guys just sang their butts off. It was, sometimes you just got to be humbled a little bit and reminded that you don't know everything.
Everyone loves a boy band song. Everyone loves a boy band song. Like NSYNC. I can't, every now and again I'll go, I'll put that the heavy metal down. Give me some NSYNC. That'd be wonderful.
And if I'll believe that, you've got a bridge to sell me, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's a reason that boy bands were so bloody popular. The music, it starts with the music. At the end of the day, the music must have been good. I just don't think we were the right audience for it.
Well, I mean, Max Martin, of course, was the king, still is, of writing songs for boy bands. And they did a musical recently called And Juliet that was all 100% based on songs that he had written, many of them for the boy bands. And, you know, you're reminded when you hear those songs one after the other that they are so sturdy, that they are really well-built songs right from the ground up. Like rhythmically, they're incredibly strong. Melodically, they're really memorable. Chord structure-wise, they're interesting to listen to repeatedly. You know, like you say, there's a reason why that stuff is successful.
Absolutely, there really is. When you look back at like the artists you work with over the years, other than Black Velvet, obviously, are there any other particular songs that stand out to you that you're like really proud of?
Yeah, I think if there was one to choose from that category, I would pick a song recorded by a Canadian artist named Amanda Marshall. And it's a song called Beautiful Goodbye that Dave Tyson, Alannah's producer, who produced Amanda's record as well, he and I wrote. And I still love that song to this day, and I'm really proud of it. And she just sang the daylights out of that thing. So if you go back and listen to it, I don't know if you know the song at all, but if you give it a listen all the way through, because there's a moment that she hits vocally towards the end of the song that it will just like make every hair stand up. It's pretty amazing.
Oh, wow. We'll definitely check that out now. Yeah, I haven't heard that, so I'm all over that. So you broke ground by becoming Canada's first VJ.
Yeah.
I used to love music video channels back in the day, but you also interviewed people too, right? What was your favorite interviews to do? You did like Bon Jovi, Mike Myers, Paul McCartney, etc.
Yeah, there's so many. I mean, I interviewed Leonard Cohen, Whitney Houston, Janet Jackson, you know, George Harrison, Joey Ramone. I mean, I did all these people, and they were good for different reasons. I mean, I talked to Kate Bush, which is like unheard of. She hardly does any interviews, as you know, and Peter Gabriel and people like that. I think the George Harrison one was probably the most amazing for me because it was a live interview. We weren't able to announce in advance that he was coming down to the station for security reasons. And then the camera came up and I'm sitting there and going, well, we have a little surprise for you, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome George Harrison to Much Music. And it's like, and I just remember that thump in my chest and I'm sitting there thinking, I'm interviewing one of the Beatles. Holy shit. You know, it was just that, okay, I've been preparing for this interview for the last, 33 years or whatever. And now it's time to put up or shut up, right? And he was so gracious and forthcoming. And you figure somebody like that, you think, oh, they've seen it all. They've heard every question. They've been asked everything. He was incredibly patient and he listened really thoroughly to what I would ask. And you could tell that he was really thinking about his answers, because so many artists, when they've been down that route as much as they have, they just hit a pat response. They just give you the same answer that they gave the last 10 people. But that was a really special moment for sure.
But back of your head, you're like, don't do your Ringo Starr impression. Don't do your Ringo Starr.
Yeah, exactly. No, better, don't do your George Harrison.
It's the same when you met Paul McCartney, like, shit, don't do it.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I managed to control myself.
Good man. Well, I mean, is it quite weird then being with us? Because obviously you're an interviewer as well. So like we're interviewing you. So you must have heard everything that we've already asked you so far.
No, not really. I mean, I try to treat, what we're doing is kind of like what I did is only with just the chairs are reversed. I mean, it's a conversation. And we have to bring the same skills to the room, which is the ability to communicate our thoughts and make a connection with someone. Like to make a connection with your audience. I mean, obviously I have to go through you guys. So I think it's kind of two versions of the same thing.
Absolutely. How did you get involved in that work with ending up on TV and Much Music? Because when I was doing my research, so many people were like, oh, I remember him from Much Music. So it was clearly a very popular channel.
Yeah, well, it was Canada's MTV, really. And it started sort of 3 years after MTV had started. I got the gig because the guy who became the program director, I'd known him for years, he came down and saw my last show with the Second City Touring Company, which is, are you familiar with them?
Second City.
Yeah, it's Canadian, but it's, Second City is a very famous sort of comedy tradition in North America. And so he just asked me to come to his office on Monday and said, I think I have something for you. I was like, oh, okay. And then he offered me this all-night video show, which was kind of like the warm-up for Much Music. So it's like anything else. You often find if you go back and look at how it really happened, you kind of backdoor your way into things, right?
Yeah. Is it just, well, you were good there. Let's move you forward. Let's go into Much Music now.
Yeah, exactly. I was really lucky. I mean, it's so many times you just have to be in the right place at the right time. I mean, I think a lot of people could have done what I did on Much Music. It's not like I have some absolutely, utterly unique skill set that made me the only guy who could do that gig. Sure, a lot of people could do it, but I just happened to be the lucky one who was in the right spot when the opening came up, right?
They say it's all about who you know, don't they?
Yeah, I guess. Or how you perform in the moment.
All that.
In other words, like opportunities will come. I mean, when people ask me, how do I get started in this or that? I always say, you know what? Believe that opportunity will come to you. The most important thing is just be ready.
Yeah.
So.
Can't agree more.
Yeah.
But one thing I wanted to talk to you about, because I think everyone around my age is a huge fan of the wonderful Mike Myers, and you've had a great working relationship with Mike over the years. How did you meet Mike?
Well, we were in that same Second City Touring Company together. Yeah. And so we became friends in the workshop. They have a workshop program as well, and he and I were both in it at the same time. We became friends, and we just started hanging out. And I think, we both got picked to be in the touring company, which meant driving all over Southern Ontario in a van when the ice and sleet were flying. We were in the back listening to The Clash together. So
I saw a music video of a song of yours called Boys and Girls, and Mike did like a really early version of Wayne Campbell in that. Yeah. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Well, actually, if you want to look up some interesting stuff, if you're a Mike fan, that all-night show that I mentioned that I got hired for, which I sort of left this part out, but it got morphed into Much Music after like 8 months later, once they got the broadcast license and all that technical stuff together. And when I was doing the all-night show, Mike would come down as Wayne, and it was actually the first time that he had done Wayne on television, like well before Saturday Night Live. And a bunch of that stuff is available on YouTube. So, go check it out if you're curious. I mean, he's as funny then as he is today. He's just an enormous talent. And and he's also like incredibly kind and loyal. I mean, he got me to come in and be in the band Ming Tea for the Austin Powers movies, and that was so much fun.
Yeah, I can't even begin to imagine how great that must have been. Daddy wasn't there. BBC's a huge song. Love that one. And blue jumpsuits as well. Like, did you write the songs together?
It's mostly Mike. He's very musical. He pretty much wrote it, and then in the case of BBC, he gave us all credits on it, but we didn't do a lot. He and Matthew Sweet did together write Daddy Wasn't There. So, yeah.
I'm going to go say the name.
Iconic films.
Just go, Daddy.
That will happen. Yes, we had a chance. We played BBC on stage a couple of years ago. It was Neil Finn was touring. Neil Finn from Crowded House fame.
Yeah.
And Mike had tickets to the show and asked me if I wanted to go with him. I said, yeah, sure. And he said, yeah. And Neil asked me if I'd get up and do a song. I said, oh, that's great, man. He said, but I have no idea what I'm going to do. And I said, oh, you'll think of something. He said, well, I kind of thought of something. I was thinking maybe to do BBC. I said, oh, that's perfect. And he said, well, but I'm not going to do it unless you get up on stage with me. I'm like, oh. You know, it had been a lot of years since I'd strapped on an electric guitar, to say the least. And so, you know, I had to teach the band, right? So here I am teaching Neil Finn how to play, you know, this 3-chord special, misses, you know, and it was an unbelievable, one of those moments too, where it's just an unbelievable feeling. You're sitting there and you're looking across the stage at Neil Finn. You're thinking, this guy is a songwriting hero of mine, and I'm teaching him how to play BBC. It's like, okay, carry on.
Incredible.
Did you actually do some live shows as Ming Tea, like before Austin Powers started?
We did. We played the Viper Room. It's a famous Hollywood club. I think that's the one with, is it River Phoenix, who died outside the door of the Viper Room? We played at a comedy club called the Groundlings Theater, and that's where a lot of great comedians got their start. And what Mike would do is he would perform as Austin, and kind of it was like he was trying ideas out on stage, interacting with the audience and with us in the band and so on. So we did a couple of gigs for that.
Iconic. I love it. Absolutely. It's such an iconic, well, set of films. Just all three of them are fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
I was reading somewhere as well recently, I didn't realise this, that Susanna Hoffs from the Bangles was in Ming Tea.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, I never clicked on before, because obviously all the costumes I never noticed.
Well, yes, she plays the part of Gillian Shagwell. And if you look at those videos, I mean, there's, you know, the videos of BBC and Daddy Wasn't There, you can tell it's her.
Yeah, you can now. Yeah. What was your name in the band?
Trevor Egbirth. As Aigberth, I believe, was the spelling of Egbirth.
Incredible.
Yeah. I can't remember the other names now. The drummer was Manny Stixman. Perfect. Oh, and Matthew was Sid Belvedere. I love that.
Oh, that's a great name.
Yeah, isn't it?
I want to be called that now.
Well, it's probably still available.
Let's have a look.
Was there ever any plans to bring Ming Tea back for the sequels at all?
Well, we were in the first one. That's where we did BBC. And we were in the third one. That's where we did Daddy Wasn't There.
It wasn't there, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Getting things mixed up in my own head there. It's been a while since I watched them.
Well, exactly.
Obviously, I did want to touch on the fact that you're also an author. You've written a book all about your time at Much Music and a few fiction books as well. What made you want to step into the world of writing?
Well, I mean, if you're a songwriter, you're a writer. There are similar sort of, you know, things being utilized in your skill set. I just probably had the, you know, ideas and wanted to get them out just like anything else. In the case of the book about Much, it's called Is This Live? And it's about a really interesting time, in particular if you're Canadian, in Canadian broadcast history. And because it was really free form. It was seat of the pants television. It was completely live. The artists loved it. And, you know, there was nothing scripted or prepared. It was just wild, the way that station ran in those days. And, you know, things from those days are living on YouTube like everything else. But yes, I think things are getting lost, and I felt like it should be chronicled, and that's probably why I took the time to write the book. And it was also a chance for me to get back together with all the people that I worked with back in those days. And so we would get together like in a bar or a cafe or somebody's backyard. And, I'd just plunk my phone down on the table and switch on record. And we'd talk for a couple hours. And then I'd go back and transcribe it. And then over a period of a couple of years, I just amalgamated it all into a semi-coherent storyline. But it's interesting because that book has been optioned for a scripted comedy series.
Ooh,
wow!
Yeah, I never saw that coming. I knew that what we were doing was wacky, but I never saw it as being the raw material for an actual television show. And that's all I can tell you about that because it's still in the usual stages of development.
NDAs.
So intrigued.
That was kind of like a Motorhead kind of gesture on your part. Was it a Lemmy thing you were doing there?
No, it was yeah.
It's like, that kind of look.
Just my angry face.
I had Lemmy and Filthy Phil came on my show once because we had a metal show which I never hosted, but the host was sick and they asked me to do it. I went, sure. They said, oh, and by the way, you have co-hosts today. And I went, oh, great. It's Lemmy from Motorhead and Filthy Phil. I went, okay, great. So they each came in with a 26er of, in Lemmy's case, I think it was Jack Daniels. Is that what he drinks? Yeah. And I think Phil was drinking gin, if I recall. And the interview just completely collapsed over the course of an hour. It just became like indecipherably nutty. And then at the end, we were giving away a life-size poster for their latest album, which I think the album was called something like Eat the Rich or something like that. So I'm presenting and I'm holding it up for the camera, and they come around and both of them started eating the poster at this Again, I think you might be able to find that online somewhere, but that was one of my favorite moments on Much. A little different than the George Harrison moment, but good number. Yeah, a little yin and yang, right?
Did you have like journals or anything from back then to help you remember all these things for the book, or was it literally just like you say, sat there with your friends and just reminiscing?
Yeah, we just reminisced and recorded it all. I wasn't obsessed with telling the truth. Sometimes you print the legend, as the expression goes, but I tried to get it right while people's memories were still functioning, including mine. And because, it's been a lot of years now, right? So it started in 1984. So a little bit of water under the bridge since then. But I found that sometimes the stories would be corroborated by someone else. And then other times it would be completely divergent. And I would think, okay, which one of these A, B, C, D, E, F, which one do I pick and go with, But I think we got most of it right. And it was such a great time. So I'm glad that I did it.
I can imagine like they reminded you of a lot of stuff you'd forgotten probably as well.
Yeah, definitely. Things I was too embarrassed to remember. So lots of I'm sure.
So what were the fiction books?
I wrote a couple of kids' books for my daughter. We had moved to Paris, and this was in 2001. And I was reading her all these books that were the heroes were male. And I thought, we need one where the girl is like an adventure story with a girl as the hero. So I wrote a book called Mac in the City of Light. It's named after her, and her middle name is Mackenzie. And it was just a fun thing to do. No big aspirations for grand success or anything in the literary world. Nobody's worried about me coming up from behind and taking their place.
Hey, you had that Billboard #1, New York Times bestsellers next. Come on.
Okay, Lemmy.
I'm going to be conscious now every time I do that. We did want to, of course, we do need to mention as well. You mentioned it at the start. A couple of years ago, you released your second album, Same River Twice. What made you want to release a second album so many years after doing the first one?
Well, there were a couple of others in between, but they were many, many years ago as well. I guess I'm an egomaniac. I don't know. I mean, it was just, why not? You know, I mean, I'm a songwriter. I think there's something maybe interesting for some people in hearing how a song was born. And I do a version of Black Velvet on there, which, I mean, you know, I'm never going to be able to sing like Allanah did it, but it maybe has some insights for the listener as to what the vibe of the song was and where it came from and that. So it was just really fun to do. I hadn't recorded for decades, and I just had a blast. So why not, right?
Can't argue that logic. Has Allanah heard your version?
Yeah, oh yeah. No, we're still friends.
That's amazing. She's like, mine was better, haha.
She did, you know, it's funny. That's actually about her speed humor-wise too. Yeah, to go. She did say something. Man, I'm sorry, I can't remember what it was, but she did give me some wacky reply. Yeah, but yeah, she liked it. She was happy.
I meant to ask this earlier when we were originally talking about the song. Sorry, but did I read some of the Black Velvet's about Elvis?
Yeah, it is. I was sent on an assignment by Much Music to go to Memphis, Tennessee. It was the 10th anniversary of Elvis's death. And so we got on board a Greyhound bus from Toronto to Memphis with 40 Elvis fanatics and a cameraman, and documented this whole scene at, you know, Graceland and all that stuff. And, you know, I had a lot of time on my hands, both on the bus and then when we got to Memphis. And I'm always making notes anyway, and then using them later in songs. So there was a song's worth of notes, and that's really kind of where it began. The key for me, the key line to the song is in the chorus, where it says a new religion that'll bring you to your knees. And that was referring to rock and roll as being the new religion.
That's awesome. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Do you ever have moments where you think of songs in your head, but you're like in the shower or going to sleep or something? You have to record it really, really quickly in your phone or write it down.
Yeah, I definitely. And I do. Well, now I put it on my phone, but, you know, I used to carry one of those little portable recorders. I mean, isn't that how Keith Richards wrote Satisfaction? Was he woke up in the middle of the night, fortunately had a guitar and a little recorder beside his bed, you know, recorded the right? Sang the first line, shut the machine off, went back to sleep, and promptly forgot the whole thing. But fortunately, yeah.
Oh,
so yeah,
imagine
always be prepared.
Rewound it and recorded over it like he didn't realize.
History would have been changed for sure.
I'd be mental. You became a judge in 2008 for a show called The Next Star. How did that come about?
I thought you knew something I didn't know. I became a judge. Oh, yeah. Where are my robes?
Sorry, it's my teeth.
I hereby find that this show is redundant. Yes. Judge. I became a judge. Yes, on it was a kids show. Yeah, called The Next Star. It was pretty funny because it was sort of like American Idol, but for juniors, right? So you don't slam them like they do on American Idol, and no, you gotta be nice when they're like 7 and they're standing there just looking at you like you're God, right? You know.
Little Susie, that was dreadful.
I love what you did. That was fantastic. You're amazing. And they're like, oh, me, you know. It was sweet. It was I really had I thought, oh, reality TV, but I had a really good time doing that show.
Oh, I love it if you just went, shit, get out.
No, I mean, we found ways to dismiss those who deserve to be, but we were a little more kind, shall we say, than that, right?
Okay. Didn't air their audition and just shoved them off the stage. Like, get out of here.
Yeah. I mean, have you guys ever had a chance to just like eject somebody from the guest seat on this show? Where they
No, actually. I don't, have we?
All right.
Or has anybody ejected themselves? Like that happened. I remember it much.
Did it?
Yeah, Chris Isaac was so unhappy. He just got up and left.
Why?
That's lost in the mists of time, Tom, but it happened.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Was it, oh, well, never mind. Let's just crack on.
I don't know. I wasn't there. I was just, I knew about it, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Luckily, we've never had it. So we've managed to do, I think we've done all right, so touch wood so far.
Yeah,
we've been,
well.
Clearly, people at Much Music are playing a wicked game, and he never felt that way. See myself out. That was dreadful.
Jamie, shit, get out. You also have a podcast called Famous Last Words. What's that all about?
It's called Famous Lost Words. It's very, very clever. It's my friend and co-podcaster really does all the hard work. His name is Tom Jokic, and he's a radio producer. And he goes into the archives and digs around and finds all these interviews that go back in time to like Elvis and as modern as Taylor Swift, right? And he picks through and picks all the best bits. And then we just sit and talk about it. We just play interview bits. And most of these interviews were heard maybe once, maybe even just a portion of them was heard once. So there's just gold in those archives. And of course, it's always fun to go back like, 20, 30 years, and artists just hang themselves if you give them a chance. And as you know, yeah, so it's like, Sting talking about tantric sex. Well, okay, if you must.
I suppose that's the positive of like the modern day with the digital age. People can just email you. Have to go, do me a favor. Can you take that bit out? I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah. Too late.
Sting's just like, ow.
You guys are muso types. You'll enjoy this show. We've been doing it now for about 5 years or so. We're in over 100 countries, and again, it's a lot of fun to do.
I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah.
Especially with guests like Duran Duran and Aerosmith. Like I'm all over that, and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as well, and Alicia Keys. Like you've got so much, it's unbelievable. I'm all over it, Chris. I'll be there.
Yeah, I mean, well, Tom digs so deeply into these archives, and it is rich and deep. There's a lot of stuff there. So
amazing. So I'm definitely going to check that. I did want to mention as well, being a songwriter, you work with these artists to come up with these great pieces of music. And then especially in today's modern age with YouTube and things like that, there's so many people doing covers and reimaginings of songs these days. Have you heard like any reimagining like covers of songs that you've done?
Yes, well, in particular, Black Velvet. That one gets covered a lot, and it's been in many different languages and really cheesy translations of it, and like a lot of things. But even just in the last year or so, Kelly Clarkson did a version on her TV show.
Wow.
And Melissa Etheridge did a version. She was doing a show during the pandemic from her basement, and she did this like epic 8-minute version of it, which was great. And she's playing all the parts. It's one of those things where she like lays down a part and then hits record and plays another part and stacks them up together. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing. And there's been a country version of it. They had a show on CBC in Canada that called Cover Me Canada, and they chose like 4 songs for people to audition with, including Black Velvet. And so all of a sudden there was just this plethora of different versions of the song appearing online. So there'd be, a hip hop version, and there'd be like a country music version, and a Celtic version, and there'd be like a solo banjo player sitting on a box playing it. I mean, it was just every day there was something new, and it was really fun to see, because you have the idea and then you put it out in the world and it kind of doesn't belong to you anymore in some ways, right?
Yeah.
It's really fun to see what someone else does with your ideas. It's a huge compliment too.
But obviously, people have got to have a love for the music to sit there and pick it apart and change its style and everything like that. That's dedication to a song.
Yeah. There was some really good versions. There was a really good hip hop version. I never would have called that.
I need to hear this.
There was a scary metal version that came out once. It was. I'm trying to remember. This is either the name of the band or the name of the album. It was called Nailworks. You ever heard of that?
No.
Well, on the cover there was a bunch of nails. And on the head of each nail was like a picture of each one of the band members, right? So you getting the idea? Yeah.
Let's track it down. Let's find that. I think check it out.
Yeah, and it's the double kick drum, bo 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 bo,
Oh yeah,
like that kind of barfy sounding vocal, black velvet and that little boy's mouth, and it was just you wouldn't want to hear it late at night. It would scare you.
I want to hear you doing that style now after that little treatment there. That was great.
Well, that's it. That's all I got.
As we start wrapping up, looking back at your career, are there any artists who you really wanted to work with? Like maybe the chance was there and it just didn't pay off, or for any particular reason, just anyone you really wanted to work with over your career and never got the chance to?
I think I would have rolled over my grandmother to work with Aretha Franklin. But that's rude, I know. And she had a song of mine on hold at one point and then didn't record it. So that was one of those, it's so close, To me, she was just the greatest of all time. And luckily I got to see her play live a couple of times. So that would have been the dream, right?
I can only imagine how many times that must happen as a songwriter. They're like, oh, they might use it, they're not using it.
Yeah, that's happened a lot, but that's just part of the deal.
I can imagine it is.
Yeah.
Before we let you go, Mr. Ward, is there anything you're working on at the moment that you can talk about?
Well, luckily with this TV thing, I'm going to be a consultant on it. So that's something that I'm really excited about. So we'll see. And I'm writing a bunch of new songs, so who knows? There may be Same River Thrice. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah.
Please call it that. Please call it that.
Okay. Just for you.
Yes.
Let me
back. Phenomenal. Mr. Stevens, do you have any final questions for our wonderful guest?
I certainly do, and I apologize for sounding like a complete fucking weirdo in this entire interview. But when you first started out with your music career, did you ever think this is where your life would be today, where you'd end up here right now, having all that success previously?
On your podcast?
Yes. Yeah.
No, because I think, rightly or wrongly, I was always taught to sort of, temper my ambitions. Don't get too big for your britches kind of upbringing, I mean, yeah. British parentage, and and it was just, keep a lid on it, simmer down, kids. So I didn't ever expect anything. And so when each little thing came along that was a surprise or, was something I would call a success, I was just grateful, and I still am.
Incredible. You've achieved some incredible things in your career, sir. It's been amazing to hear your stories. It really has.
Oh, and thank you very much.
Your Beatles impressions was just phenomenal, to be honest with you. That was just
Ringo. This is I love to sit in front of the telly and go bang bang.
So good. Oh, phenomenal. Before we let you go, any plug social medias, websites you want anyone to go and check out?
ChristopherWard.ca is where you'll find the latest and the greatest.
Incredible.
I usually get somebody else to do it for me though, because Because I'm busy making cumin lime shrimp, right?
Yeah, exactly. I want to try it. I want to try it now.
Yeah. Go for it.
Sounds wonderful.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, incredible.
We'll have you over.
There's the invite now. We're over. Summer barbecue at Chris's house. We're all going to be there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Woo! Chris, thank you so much. This has been absolutely unbelievable. It's been great to chat to you.
You're welcome, guys. Thank you so much for your hospitality. It was really enjoyable for me too, and I look forward to seeing it on where will I be able to see it?
Everywhere. YouTube, Spotify, Google, Apple. It'd be everywhere.
Okay.
Christopher, thank you so much, mate. Enjoy the rest of your day. All right.
All right, guys. Take care.
Take care, my friends. See you later.
What a fantastic conversation. So many. The stories. As a huge Mike Myers fan growing up as well. I loved this one so much.
Yeah, Chris, thank you so much for taking the time out again. Like I said, you've a very busy schedule to sit and chat to us. Like, it really meant the world. And it was just fascinating hearing you speak and hearing you talk. But most importantly, we all hope that you all enjoyed listening to it as much as we did recording it.
It's about getting into schools and talking to young people because, I know that people can change. And it's about talking to people and getting them to understand and perhaps step back from violence and prejudice and whatever. And we just need to work together and keep on the good fight there.
Absolutely. Hey there, guys. We are ecstatically happy to announce that we're associated with the Sophie Lancaster Foundation.
The times are changing, and with the unfortunate death of Sophie, those changes have made a massive impact for the future. If Sophie was with us still today, I can guarantee what you are doing will still be reaching so many lives of young teenagers, young adults, and those who wish to be as different as possible. So thank you very much.
To find out more about this incredible foundation and all the work they do, and more importantly, how you can help, head on over to www.sophielancasterfoundation.com. Mr. Stevens.
Yeah. No. Jay. Me.
That's my ringtone. It's audience participation time, baby.
Participate, bitch. Participate, bitch. Participate, bitch. Participate, bitch.
I love these so much. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to participate in Jamie's participation challenge. This week, I said, don't you just love those simple little pleasures in life? Those little moments of pure bliss, like realising there's another layer of chocolate in the box. Something simple like that. So with that in mind, we ask you, what are your favourite little pleasures in life that just fill you with pure happiness and bliss? What say you, Mr. Stevens?
Not being given wrestling spoilers.
That's a good one.
So there's moments where there's like big returns or something or anything like that, and not knowing about it is one of the greatest feelings in the world. But I'll tell you one of my favourite ones is eating frosted wheats.
Okay.
The shredded wheat.
Yeah.
They're frosted.
Yes.
And then when you get ones that are super frosted, heaven. Or the frosties that are super frosty. Goddamn. Unbelievable. Cereal's a big win for me. Cereal is a huge win. So when you get to some cereal that's like, it's just that bit more chocolatey than it's meant to be, or that bit more frosty it's meant to be, or it's got that bit more sugar, or like Crunch Nut cornflakes a bit more honey than it's meant to be. It is like, just that wonderful. Or I love another one favorite of mine. Is when you eat crisps. So like Skips or Discos. So like Skips and it has all the dust at the bottom, or the Disco salt and vinegar, and you just pour it in. It's just all that prawn cocktail or salted vinegary goodness. I love that shit as well.
I love this question so much because it's those little things like something really. I don't know if anyone else thinks this, but I feel there's no better feeling in this world than after a long day when you roll your socks down slightly and you have a good scratch as to where it's digging into your ankle all day. Oh, it's like pure bliss that moment.
I think that makes it sore, doesn't it? I agree with putting the sock down bit and you go, oh, that's wonderful. But then I think scratching is a bad idea because I think it makes it bad for your skin, I think, isn't it?
I don't know. I love it. I love doing it. I don't know why. It just makes me so happy.
You made me think of another one, and this is weird. After being sunburnt when your skin peels.
Oh yes.
But you get that if it's like a shoulder or whatever, and it's and it just keeps going and going, and you're like, oh my. So do you know what 2000 Trees where I really badly burnt my calf and the side of my knee?
Yes.
Yeah. Because obviously I'd sat over that bench and the sun was like beaming on for hours. Obviously I'd crispified myself so much. I got to a point where there was a bit hanging off. So but it literally, I could hear it go, because it was so and I literally took half my leg off. Like I was just like, holy shit. But the noise was fascinating. And the feeling is just fascinating. I'm so sorry, that's really weird. And now no one's going to want to love me ever again, but still.
You agree?
But
as kids, we all love peeling PVA glue off our hand. It's just a biological version. That's all it is.
Where's all the PVA gone, kids? No idea.
No, miss.
This is my moment where I've got to pray. It's prayer time.
Oh, let's get some audience answers. Terrace Mansfield, she says, waking up when I want to on a Saturday. Oh, I'm so jealous of that. Jealous of you 9-to-5ers, Monday to Fridays. Oh.
We do it when with no kids. It's great.
No kids. Yeah, there it is. Phil Andre, our good friend from Motley Brew, says there's nothing better than a perfectly cooked poached egg.
Yeah, they are great. They are. Yeah, he is bang on there.
Alan Carr, radiator pants in the winter. You can't deny that.
Do you know what? Yeah, when you put your radio on, you put like your joggers on or something just to let them warm up, and you put. Oh, he is bang on there.
Yeah, nothing better. Graham Arnold, I like this one's quite sweet. A freshly made BLT by my other half. That's adorable. I like that, Graham. I like that. Not normally your sort. I like it. David Graham says nothing better than eating a Magnum ice cream on a hot day. I like that. Do like a Magnum. Nina Hewitson says curling up in my chair with a book and a cup of tea.
Nice.
Like it. Danielle Bushell and Emma Wharton came up with the same answer for this one. Nothing better than getting into clean bedding after a nice hot bath or shower.
Clean bedding is a beauty as well.
Yes, absolutely. The wife, Becky Westwood, she says the bliss of taking your bra for a bloody long day. And quite a lot of comments saying, yes, this one, I agree. Yes, I definitely agree with this one. Dina Payne, and this happened to me earlier on today, so fully get this one. Finding a stray chip in the bottom of a Mackie D's bag. Oh, yes.
Oh, that is a win. Yeah.
That is an absolute win. Jerry Keane says, watching clips of Peter Sellers as Clouseau on YouTube. I like that. That's just... I'm having a nice moment. I'm going to watch me some Peter Sellers. I like it. Dean Salmon, with one we can all agree with, being left alone at work.
Yeah.
Kirsty Darby, everything after my 3-year-old is in bed. Yeah, I get that one. Lisa Clemens, the smell of lilacs wafting through an open window. I like that quite a lot.
Yeah.
I love it when our guests get involved. Emily Stevens, this one's a bit weird. I get weirded out when people put chores on things like this, but hanging washing on the line.
My sister for you.
Is she one of those that likes housework?
I don't know if she enjoy. I think we do because I like to hoover and mow lawns. I think she likes to hoover and so I think she does. Yeah,
fair enough. Robbie Williams, being able to listen to music at work. Days are so much slower when you can't have a quick sing or a dance in the corner.
I could totally see him doing it as well. Yeah.
Hannah from Rockfit, future guest of the show, says hot chocolate and building Lego. Like that a lot. Molly Rennick, another former guest of the show, making coffee in the morning and picking which mug I want to use. Which to me says, Molly, you have a serious bad habit of buying way too many mugs, which I completely get. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I get that one.
And she goes by Haining now, not Rennick.
Yeah, no, it made it relatable.
Okay, sorry.
I say, former guest Molly Haining is like, I don't know who this is. Where's her episode? Two more for you. Shelley Harris, which I think so many people can relate to. Seeing a dog. There's literally nothing changes my mood and general perspective of my day than the sight of a dog. I get that. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. And last but not least, it's Mally Malpass. Because it's no audience participation is complete without a Mally Malpass answer. Nothing makes me happier than breaking out my less than mint 1990 K's catalogue having a nostalgia wank.
Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I can't wait to have him on the Bloodstock blog next week. It's going to be great. Absolutely incredible. Thank you to absolutely everyone that participates in Jamie's challenge every week. It's great. We love it. And we love it when people get involved. It just really makes us happy. And we really appreciate it more than anything. So if you enjoy Jamie's participation challenge, Tom's Journal, Callum's Preachings, the absolute garbage we talk at the beginning and the interview, then you enjoy the other 95 editions of Chronicles of Podcast, wherever you get your podcast from, whether it be Spotify, Google, Apple, wherever you get your podcast from, we're there. Chronicles of Podcast, make sure you find us there. We're also on YouTube at the Chronicles of Podcast. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell to get notified whenever new videos are released. And please comment to your fucking heart's content. It would be absolutely glorious. Thank you so much. You'll find all of our interviews are on there. All of our shows are on there. All of our Bloodstock live interviews from last year are on there. Our Dublin Cross vlog is on there. Our Bloodstock vlog is on there. Our hashtag WBW Way Back Wednesdays are on there. And our 2000 Trees interviews are still continuing. There's not many left, but they are still coming. And of course, our brand new interviews for Bloodstock for next week will also begin to arrive in the next month or so. So thank you so much for checking those out. Make sure you subscribe. That's the main thing we need you to do on there. You can also find us on the Facey Bee at the Chronicles of Podcast. Make sure you press the like button, share it everywhere, add some memes and some whatever else on there. That'd be absolutely great. But thinking about it, Jamie, where else could you find us?
Find us listening to all of Christopher Ward's music, whether it be his solo albums or music he's helped written.
Absolutely. Or you'll find us on the on the X. The Twitter at TCO Pod. And once you listen to all of Christopher Ward's albums and music, wherever you find that, and following us on Twitter or X, where else can you find us?
Looking at a burger from Thailand made solely of 20 slices of cheese and thinking, can I actually eat this? Or I don't know.
Well, I'd rather be in our Instagram at TCO Pod. You can find us on TikTok at TCO Pod. Make sure you go and find Jamie's Chesney Hawks video because it's still hands down one of the greatest clips ever made. But we have all of our little clips from our interviews and our shows as well that you can go and check out just to give you a bit of a taster of who's who. And if you like that interview, you can go and check it out in full on the YouTube. So it makes sense, doesn't it? Come and connect with us on the LinkedIn at the Chronicles of Podcast, please, with everything on there as well. Obviously, it's more businessy side, but it'd be great to have you all on there showing the love and support. Or you can come on down to our sexy little website at www.thechroniclesofpodcast.com. You can find out all about us on there. All of our shows and episodes are on there. All of our affiliations and sponsors are on there. And our Chronicles of Podcast shop, where you can get yourself some TCO Pod merch. So make sure you start investing. Give us some dollar, and we can make this show even better. Be absolutely grand. So most importantly, subscribe to us on YouTube at the Chronicles of Podcast and follow us on all the socials at TCO Pod. Thank you for that. And now, a word from our Jamie.
That's me. Before we get out of here, let's say thank you to a few of our friends. First off, we have to say a massive thank you to the man that provides us every single piece of music that you hear on this show. That man is Mr. Singer-Songwriter himself, Matt Roberts. Go give Matt a follow on all the social medias at Matt Roberts Music. Go check out all of his music. He's got so much of an amazing back catalogue in there, including his last album, Light of Day. And if you're paying attention, last week he released his brand new single, Rat Race. It goes without saying, it is absolutely superb. Massive thank you to Matt for everything he does for this show. It means the absolute world, sir. And we cannot wait to see what you're doing next. And of course, we have to say a massive thank you to Mr. Braden Barry and his Stay Cozy Clothing. Head on over to www.staycozyclothing.com. Have a look what they're selling there. It could be that t-shirt that Tom's wearing right there. It could be that hat that Tom's wearing right there. All the most amazing apparel you could find. Hoodies, t-shirts, hats. And of course, you know what I'm going to say. Those beautiful, beautiful mugs. Absolutely incredible those mugs are. So add whatever you like to look of to your basket, enter that discount code, The Chronicles, and get yourself 10% off your order. A little thank you from Mr. Barry to yourselves. And of course, talking of Braden, we mustn't forget he's also a musician himself. Do not forget to go check out all his music under Say We Can Fly. His last album, Beneath the Roses, is absolutely incredible. It is definitely a contender for Album of the Year for us guys. And he has been teasing some new music on his social medias, so keep an ear and eye out for those. And last but not least, we have to say a massive thank you to the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. They're stamping out prejudice, hatred and intolerance everywhere, and I literally mean everywhere. I know what happened to Sophie happened here in the UK, but it doesn't mean that Sophie's story doesn't resonate elsewhere in the world. So no matter where in the world you are listening to this show from, share Sophie's story, please. Head on over to www.sophielancasterfoundation.com. Look at what you can do to help and share Sophie's story, because it is so important that people are free to be who they want to be, listen to the music they want to listen to, dress the way they like, just be themselves and not have to worry and constantly look over their shoulder. As you're listening to this, we are currently at the Bloodstock Festival. We are surrounded by people who are dressing how they want, being how they want. It could be blistering hot weather and they want to wear black leather and PVC, and fucking right they should, and damn right they do. But who cares if it's hot, because we can be ourselves. And it is beautiful to see. A massive thank you to everyone who came to the Rebellion Music Festival recently and went and saw the foundation, helped them raise a ton of money. Some beautiful stories been coming out of Rebellion. It's been amazing to see. If you're at Bloodstock, please go and visit the tent. Go say hello, buy a piece of merch. Come say hello to me and Tom. We would love to talk to you on this show as well. Make you part of our vlog that we always create at the end of Bloodstock. Massive thank you to everyone that joined us last year. Hopefully we'll see you guys as well. But please do come and say hello and be part of this project. And last but not least, a massive thank you to my very handsome, beautiful co-host there.
Thank you very much, Jamie. It's graciously appreciated. And right back at you. I completely agree with everything that Jamie just said there. So yeah, please do come say hello at the Bloodstock Festival. It'll be absolutely amazing. Thank you to everyone that attended Rebellion Music Festival this weekend just gone and saw everybody, went to the foundation and bought some merch. So thank you very much. But Jamie, another excellent episode, don't you agree?
Oh yes, it's been absolutely incredible.
Christopher, thank you so much again for taking the time out of your very busy schedule to sit and chat to us. It was absolutely fantastic. But we're so excited that we finally got this one out there for people to enjoy. But as for this week, we'll see you next week for the Chronicles of Hannah Hawkey of Rockfit UK.
Yeah. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.